All right, let's talk about the world of work. It seems massive, right? Super complex. But today, we're going to break it all down into simple, easy-to-get pieces. We're going to look at how everything around us actually gets made, and who's doing what. So yeah, let's just jump right in.
Just take a look around you, right now. Seriously. Think about the chair you're sitting in, or maybe the desk your computer is on, the light bulb over your head, the building you're in. I mean, where did all this stuff come from? How did it actually get here?
Yeah, spoiler alert, it doesn't just poof appear out of thin air. It's all the end result of this huge interconnected system of jobs and processes all working together. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to unpack that whole system, one piece at a time.
So, to help us make sense of all this, we're using this document here as our guide. Think of it as our roadmap. It lays things out really clearly so we can get a handle on the big picture, starting with the absolute basics.
Okay, first things first. We have to start with the biggest, broadest category of all. We got to get on the same page about what we even mean when we use the word industry.
So at its core, an industry is just a huge group of people who are all doing the same kind of work. I like the analogy of different worlds in a video game, You've got the construction world, the food world, the tech world. It's really the highest level way you can group a type of work.
So for instance, pretty much anyone who has a hand in building a house, they're part of the construction industry. Anyone involved in making furniture, that's the manufacturing industry. And this is so important because these industries are basically the engines of our society. They create jobs and they make all the stuff we need every single day.
Now, our source material zeroes in on 3 really key industries that have a massive impact on our lives. So let's take a closer look at what they are.
Okay, so right off the bat, you can see the huge difference between these two giants. Construction, that's all about building big things, usually unique structures like a house or a bridge. But manufacturing, that's totally different. It's about churning out tons of identical items. Think phones, cars, shoes, usually inside a factory.
And then there's the third one, which is maybe a bit more modern, but wow, is it essential? The electrical and electronic industry. I mean, this is basically the industry that deals with all the power that runs our modern world and every single gadget we use. Think about it. This covers everything from the person wiring up the lights in a new house to the tech who fixes your TV. And here's the really crucial part. This industry is what makes the other industries possible. You can't have a modern factory without electricity, right? You can't light up a home. It just goes to show how all these huge industries are completely connected.
All right, so we've got the big picture view of what an industry is. Now let's do something fun. Let's zoom in on one of them. Let's pick construction and see how it gets broken down into even smaller pieces.
So inside that giant world of the construction industry, you have these things called sectors. A great way to think about it is like different flavors of ice cream in one big tub. It's all construction, it's all building, but the end results are totally different.
First up is the one we're all super familiar with, the residential sector. Yep, this is exactly what it sounds like. It's all the places people live. Houses, apartments, you name it. And it's obviously critical because, hey, we all need a safe place to live.
Then you've got these two that are really the engines of the economy. You have the industrial sector. These are the buildings where we make stuff, like factories. And then the commercial sector. These are the places where we do business and sell stuff, like shops and offices. So basically, one makes it, the other sells it. Simple.
And last but not least, we have the civic sector. These are the buildings for all of us, for the public. We're talking schools, hospitals, libraries, all the places that are really the backbone of a healthy community.
Okay, pretty cool, right? We've gone from the huge industry level down to the more specific sector level. So let's zoom in just one more time, down to the most granular level, the actual jobs that people do. And to do that, let's switch gears and jump back over to the manufacturing industry. So inside any of these industries and sectors, you have roles. This is where it gets down to the individual. The sports analogy here is perfect. If the industry is the entire league and the sector is a specific team, then the role is the position each person plays on that team. It's their specific job, their specific contribution.
And in the world of manufacturing, it all starts right here with engineering design. This is the planning phase. I mean, think about it. Before a factory can pump out 1 million water bottles, someone, an actual person, has to sit down and design that one perfect bottle. One that doesn't leak, feels good in your hand, and is easy to make. This role is absolutely crucial because without a good design, you don't have a good product.
So once that perfect blueprint exists, we move on to industrial production. This is the making stage. This is where that design gets turned into a real physical thing, over and over again on an assembly line. This is the role that lets us all buy the same reliable product, no matter where we are.
But what happens when one of those giant, complicated machines on the assembly line just stops working? Well, that's where industrial maintenance comes to the rescue. This is the fixing stage, and honestly, these folks are the unsung heroes of manufacturing. They're the ones who keep everything running smoothly and safely, preventing massive delays and even accidents.
So there you have it. We've zoomed all the way in, from this massive idea of an industry down to a very specific role. Now let's pull the camera back out and see how this whole puzzle fits together.
And this just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? You start with a huge industry, let's say manufacturing. Then, within that industry, you have people in all these specific roles. Designers, production folks, maintenance crews, all working together, and the result, a great, well-made product that ends up in our hands.
So really, the big takeaway here is that the world of work is like one of those nesting dolls. You've got the industry, then the sector, then the role. Every single piece, from the biggest category down to the most specific job, has its own purpose. And they all have to work together to build, make, and maintain, well, everything around us.
You know, when you see it all laid out like this, it really starts to make sense how it all fits together, doesn't it? So it kind of makes you think, now that you see the whole map, what's one little part of this working world that you'd want to explore next?